By the way, those of you that just came in, I have a YouTube playing, and you're more than welcome to join me on that YouTube. It's placed in the chat box. Okay, so from here, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take the hands behind our head. We've got the roller placed just at the tips of the shoulder blades, and we're rolling from the top of the shoulders right to just below the shoulder blades, maybe even down to the lowest rib. And the elbows are wide at first. Want to get that feeling of really opening up your chest. You want to be able to breathe here. Your breath is very important for facilitating that feeling of wellness. From here, we're going to draw the elbows together, get right between the shoulder blades, and roll it out. Nice and easy. Perfect. Good. Perfect. Good. And then go ahead and we're going to rest down, and we're going to perch on top of the roller. So go ahead and you're going to sit right on top of the roller. Now my thigh bone is parallel to the roller, so I'm going to lift my legs up so you can see. I'm right on top of that roller, and I'm just trying to get some circulation very slowly right into the IT band. Now this is a very sensitive area, so if it feels too sensitive to you, you can place one foot on the floor, and you can just try to get your body accustomed to that roll. Perfect. If it's comfortable to you and you can have both legs on top, feel free. Perfect. Now, if you're comfortable with this and it doesn't make you feel like you're about to cry, because a lot of people feel a lot of sensation here, you can step one foot either in front of you or behind you and roll out your IT band. Now the outer edge of your foot is parallel to the floor on the leg that you're being active with. Now if you're comfortable with it and you're okay with it, you can stack both legs. And I'm rolling right from just below the greater trochanter, just on the outer hip here, down towards my knee. So it's where the attachment of the muscles are, is where the greater trochanter is. Perfect. We're going to roll it just a couple more times. Good. Excellent. Now, before just going to the other side, we're going to face the floor, and you're going to take the roller just above your knees. Now, if you don't have a roller, you can just simply draw your heels in and stretch the legs out. You can draw the heels in and stretch the legs out. But if you do have the roller, just feel free to roll from above the knee right in towards your hip creases, as high up on that hip crease as is comfortable to you. Now, if this is an easy task for you and you feel like you can do more, feel free to lift the legs. Slow it down if you want to get to the deeper fibers, the fascia. Feel free. Perfect. Now I want to face you, so I'm going to take my head where my feet were, but you can just simply face the other direction if you like, or if you want to see what's going on, you can do what I did. And I'm going to stack the legs again. Now, once again, if you want, you can just start with that bottom leg on the roller. Make sure that the knee and the hip are right on top. Now, if it's comfortable to you and you're okay with it, go ahead and just roll it out. I'm just trying to get some circulation into that IT band. It's like the Sahara Desert for most of us after age 2. So you want to make sure that you get some fluid moving through those fibers before you do the other position. Now, if you're not ready for it, don't feel like you have to do it. But if you want to take your top leg up and over your bottom leg or place it behind you, just make sure that the bottom leg's foot is parallel, the outer edge is parallel to the floor. Now, if you're comfortable here, you can roll out with both legs stacked. Good. Slow it down if it's okay for you to do so. Perfect. And then we're going to turn around. Now, from here, we're going to roll out the hamstrings. And a lot of people have tight hamstrings. They have tight shoulders. So if your hamstrings are really tight, don't feel like you have to cross one leg over the other. You can do it just with the legs both balanced on top. If you have shoulder issues or wrist issues, I highly recommend that what you do is you place blocks right underneath your hands and have your fingers hang over the edge that's closest to the roller. And you can just roll out the back of your legs. Once again, if you have really tight hamstrings, just keep the legs in parallel. But if you don't, you can cross one leg up and over and just put a little pressure on that bottom leg. Good. And then if you're doing the cross of the legs, you can go ahead and do the other side. Perfect. And let's move to the calves. So from here, once again, you can keep your hips down if that feels best to you and just roll through, especially if you have tight calves. You don't want to put too much pressure on them. That's a good way to go. But if you're okay with it, you can elevate on your blocks here and press down. You can even cross one leg up and over. Now, I don't like to go through the central tendon of it, so I turn my toes to the side and then to the other side. Good. And then change legs. The main reason we're doing this is just to get some circulation through the whole leg. Good. Excellent. And then let's go ahead. We're going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to turn to face you. You do not need to turn your roller at all. You can sit on your bolster or your blanket if you don't have a roller available to you. But from here, you're going to sit right on top of the roller. If you're unstable, you can have the blocks underneath your hands back behind you if you want. You're going to cross one leg up and over. One of the benefits of having the blocks, I keep them on the medium height here, is I can get my chest closer to my legs with my hands elevated. So I'm going to get a little bit more roll and a little more stretch in the piriformis and the hip area. So I've got my top leg, ankle is on top of the bottom leg, right on top of that thigh bone, and I am just rolling out just nice and easy. Good. And then I'm going to find a comfortable place on the roller here, and I'm going to rock side to side. Just rock the legs. The upper body stays still. And I'm just easing the stress right through the hip. Or excuse me, the stretch, not the stress. Perfect. Good. And then let's roll again. Just see if it feels any different. Might have relaxed a little bit more. Good. And then we're going to change sides. So go ahead, take the other leg up on top, lift up tall through your chest, and roll straight forward and back. Forward and back. Beautiful. Excellent. Good. Nice. And then from here, you're just going to rock your legs again from side to side. Keep your upper body still. Perfect. And then once again, forward and back. Forward and back. Good. And then we're going to come off the roller. I just want to open up the chest a little bit more. So I'm going to take it back behind the shoulder blades just as we started. But this time you can do this even if you don't have a roller. You can roll up a towel or use your bolster, because what we're going to do is we're just going to arch over the roller. So the hips are grounded. I want to get the feeling like the tailbone is moving more towards my knees. I'm going to have the hands behind my head and keep those elbows nice and wide. Now I'm going to take the roller just to the tip of the shoulder blades, and I'm going to arch over. Now, if this does not feel comfortable to your spine, if you feel any harshness, this is not for you. But from here, try to widen the elbows, try to press them down towards the floor. Feel that beautiful stretch across the chest wall and right through the armpit, right to the elbow. Good. From here, you're just going to lift up. Good. And come back over it again. Just ease over. Try to touch the floor with your elbows. For most of us, that may not happen, and that's okay. And then you're going to come back up. Good. And again. Ah, beautiful. Good. And one more. Perfect. Now, if you don't have a roller, you're going to use that same bundle and that cylinder of blanket or your bolster, and you're going to place it right underneath your tailbone. If you have the roller available, you can just use that since it's right in your grasp. Good. Excellent. From there, you're going to take the legs in towards the chest. You're going to hold on to your knees here, and you're going to rotate out the knees. Okay? So we're making circles. So right leg, left leg. I'm holding on to the knees so that I don't feel any harshness in the hip flexors. They're out of the equation. So when you hold on to the leg, that the hip flexor, that inguinal area can relax. When you're ready, you're going to go the other direction, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Good. Excellent. Now, in order to relax the inguinal even more, we're going to take both legs up. You're going to flex and point a few times. Just release those ankles. Because, you know, the feet, they affect your hips. The hips affect your knees. So we want to make sure that we involve everything. We're going to separate the feet just enough to rotate out the ankles. Do you hear a snap, crackle, and pop? Don't worry. And then rotate the feet in the other direction. Perfect. From here, draw the right leg in and then draw a line down towards the floor with your left leg. Now, the goal here is to rest the left foot down on the floor, okay? So if the left foot can't come to the floor, relax your right knee away from you a bit. But once you've got that left heel down, see if you can just take a few breaths here and relax right at the top of the groin there on that left side. Perfect. And draw the knee a little deeper in towards your right shoulder. Hold and breathe. Beautiful. Now step on the brake with that left foot. Just really try to reach for it. Imagine it's an inch away. Feel the stretch right in the inguinal area, that hip flexor. Perfect. Just for ease, slide your left heel in, then lift your left knee up. Good. From here, holding on to your roller, just rock those hips gently side to side. Good. Take your right leg straight up. Good. Keep the left knee in towards your left shoulder and stretch the right leg all the way down to the floor. Now, once again, ease up on that left leg if you're not able to reach the ground. If you are, then you can just gently guide that left knee in towards your shoulder more. Good. And hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. Take some nice deep full breaths there. Perfect. And then slide your heel in, your left heel in, draw the legs in towards you, hold onto your roller, and you're just gonna rock through your sacrum. Now make sure you're not on your kidneys, okay? Make sure you're going across a bone in the back of your body. Good. Excellent. Nice. From here, cross your right ankle in front of your left thigh bone and draw the legs in towards you. So you're in that number 4 stretch. If it's comfortable, extend your left leg. You can even reach for your left big toe if it's available to you. If not, don't worry about it. But you're going to feel a little stretch here. Opening up the back of the left leg, opening up your right hip. Beautiful. Good. Beautiful. Deepen your breath. Try to keep the back of the head as centered as possible on your mat. And let's switch sides. So go ahead and switch it up. So left ankle right on top of the right thigh bone. Rock gently side first. Just ease the stretch into the hip. Good. Excellent. And then if it's available to you, take your right leg up and over. Maybe find the neck of the right big toe. Deepen your breath here. Nice deep full breaths. Perfect. And let's release that side. So we're going to come off the roller and we're going to find either a rolled up blanket or a bolster and our 2 blocks. Okay. So from here, you can use a bolster if you like, or you can use a rolled up blanket. But from here, you're going to take a block out in front of you. And what I'm doing is I'm going to step right on top of that block. I'm going to go into a lunge. Now, if lunges are not easy for you, let me show you the option. I should show that first. Sorry about that. If you are not comfortable in a standing lunge, then you can be on your back and hold on to your foot in happy baby. Okay, so that is your option. But in this one, if you want to intensify it, then you can take your bolster, you can rest your right thigh bone right against that bolster and take the left foot forward. Now, having your foot on that elevated block is going to give you a little bit more stretch. Good. Excellent. Perfect. Now from here, I'm going to slide that bolster just in front of the thigh bone so that, and just almost to the knee, so that I get that feeling like I'm resting into it. Gives me kind of that tactile sensation of support, which should make it a little bit easier for the hips to relax. Good. And from here, I've got the block underneath my right hand on its highest side. Good. And from here, I'm going to flex and extend through the front leg a few times, just to ease into the stretch. Good. And then I'm going to stay here. Now, usually we're a little more relaxed in our yin poses, but I just want you to stay a little bit more upward with your chest. Keep the chest nice and open. Going to be here for just a couple of more breaths. Good. From here, I'm going to place my block down. This block can be on its second highest side or on its flattest side. I'm choosing the second highest side, and I'm going to come down to my forearms on top of that block. I'm going to try to relax into this. I might even move my block further forward, and I'm just going to get a nice stretch in my hip. I'm going to deepen my breath. Now, having that thigh bone resting into the bolster is going to help me from having that thigh bone pushing forward at the top, because right now it's resting in the acetabulum. And if I didn't have that support underneath the front of my thigh bone, the top might just move forward a little bit more. But having that support there keeps the greater trochanter supported right in the acetabulum. We don't want to put any pressure on that. We really want to focus on stretching the hips without putting any strain there. So deepen your breath here. Nice, deep, full breaths. If you feel any pressure in your neck, you can place your elbows on top of your block and rest your head in your hands. That's perfectly fine too. And just hold and breathe. Nice, deep, full breaths. Good. Stay relaxed here. Stay with it. I'm going to check on you and see how you're all doing. Good. Perfect. Good. You're nice and still, Shelley. That's beautiful. You too, Fabienne and Mary. You too, Margaret. Just hang in there. Perfect. Perfect. We're going to change it up just a little bit. You're going to take the block out from underneath your foot. You're going to turn your blocks so that they are on their flattest side. You're going to slide your foot forward, that left foot forward, and you're going to rest your arms on the blocks. And you're in gecko pose here. So from here, just relax. Deepen your breath. Good. Rest your head in your hands. If you feel like your neck is straining, just have your elbows on top of the blocks and be here. Now, if you feel you can go deeper, you can take the blocks away and you can rest your arms down on the floor and just deepen the pose. Deepen the last 3 breaths here. Perfect. From here, make sure your blocks are within reach. You're going to walk those blocks back. You might rest your leg on top of the bolster or not, depending on how deeply you want to go into this, but you're going to stretch your front leg, grab a hold of the toes if possible. Try to pull that front hip crease back and just get a nice deep stretch here. Just open up the hamstring. I've got a block underneath my opposite hand just to help steady me. If I wanted to work on my balance, I could hold on to the foot with both hands. Perfect. And then this is just to release. We're just going to come forward and back a few times. Forward and back. Good. And forward and back. Let's go ahead and we're going to do a down dog here before we set up for the next side. So curl your toes under and lift up. Press your heels deep into the floor. Flex and extend through both knees so that you can roll the stretch through the quadratus lumborum and through your hamstrings. Perfect. And then come on down, and we're going to set up for the second side. So the block is going to go under the right foot. Have your bolster available to you. We're going to step that right foot up and on top of that block. Good. And once again, let's come forward and back a couple of times. I just want to relax my, I should take the block away so you can see. I just want to relax my hip and ease into it. And then once again, I want to support that back leg. Now I can scoot it back as far as my, my leg will go comfortably. And I want to stay upright first. I want to get that feeling of lift up and away from the hips. So I want to get the feeling like the sternum is rising up. Good. And just hold and breathe here. Nice deep full breaths. Good. Just 2 or 3 more breaths here. Feel that back leg psoas really open up, as well as the inguinal area, the groin. Good. And then you can turn your block on its second highest side, and you can come down. So you can rest those arms down on top of the block. You can support your head by placing your elbows in the center of the block and rest your head in your hands. By the way, just so you know, if you find that your knee goes out to the side or comes inward, that's okay, because you've got the support underneath the back leg and you have support underneath your elbows. Good. And just stay in place. Once you find a place where you can breathe, in Yin, you should be able to have a nice, smooth, clean breath. If you find that your breath is sticking or gripping somewhere, then you need to back off a little bit, okay? Good, excellent. And just stay with it. Just deepen your breath. Rest your head in your hands. We're going to take 8 to 10 more breaths right here. Good, stay with it. Relax around the hips. Imagine your breath can unlock any tightness in your body, and just send your breath to wherever you feel tight. Perfect. From here, you can lower down, but before you do, you're going to take your foot off the block. You might use the 2 blocks. They can be on their medium height, or they can be on their flat height. You can walk your foot even further forward if you like, and come on down. Let your body adjust to this. If you need to, support your head. Relax. Breathe into your back body here. If you find that this is not challenging at all, you can move the blocks out of the way at this point and come all the way down. And just deepen your breath. Good. Stay with it. Stay still. These look fantastic. Try not to move, not even a fingertip. Try to stay as still as you can. Deepen the last 3 breaths here. You can go on your back if this isn't working for you. But if you can, just stay with it. Perfect. And then when you're ready, you can slide the hands underneath you. Make sure you have some support here. You might want to take a hold of one block. And you can either use the bolster underneath you to support your front leg, or you can slide your hips really far back and try to grab a hold of the ball of the front foot. So I'm just really trying to stretch out the hamstring. I'm supporting myself with that left hand, or if I feel like I want to work on my balance, I can hold onto the foot with both hands and really pull evenly through the baby toe and big toe side. Perfect. And then we're going to move to a down dog. So go ahead and curl the toes under, walk it out with both, just bending opposite alternating knees. And then once you're done with that, lift those hips up really high and flex and extend through both knees simultaneously so you can move the stretch through your spine. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to come down. Going to go onto our backs here for a moment. Good. And just rock side to side, holding onto your knees. Knees are close together. Good. Excellent. And then we're going to raise the legs up towards the ceiling. And you're going to cross your right leg in front of your left. You're going to hold on to your right ankle with your left hand. Now, if it's possible, you're going to drop your left heel towards your right sit bone and grab a hold of that opposite ankle with your right hand. So right hand holds left ankle, left hand holds right. Good. Excellent. Now, if this does not feel like much to you, if you feel like you're not getting enough stretch in the hips here, you're not feeling it through the hips or the IT band, then you can do this in a seated fashion. So this is Gomukhasana. So if you wanted to try another option, yes, you can be seated. You can cross your right leg over your left, take your left heel towards your right sit bone and your right heel towards your left sit bone. Now, if it's better for you to be on your back, be on your back. That's perfectly fine. Good. Excellent. From here, if you're feeling very little, then you can come forward and rest the chest against your legs. Now, if that feels like too much, you can take a block as a spacer between your chest and your legs and just rest into it. And just deepen your breath. Nice, deep, full breaths. I like to rest my chin against the front edge of the block, or if I'm feeling really stretchy, I might rest my chin on my knee or my forehead. Perfect. I'm going to take 10 more breaths here. Really breathe into your back body. Perfect. As a delicious counter stretch, if you're on your back, you're just going to take the legs into a V, maybe hold on to the outer edges of your legs or your feet. If you're seated, you're just going to take your legs wide. Good. And just lean forward enough to put some pressure into the hips, but no strain. Perfect. And let's do the second side. So from here, go ahead and take your left leg up and over. Beautiful. Slide your right heel towards your left sit bone. Perfect. Good. Now, if you're on your back, you're just switching legs, that's all. But from here, if you're finding this feels different than the first side, honor where you're at. Don't push, okay? So if you expect that your one side is going to be exactly the same as the other, just give yourself that moment to really check in with yourself, make sure your hips are fine. You can use the block between the chest and the legs, or you can just hinge from your hips and come forward. Totally up to you. And just relax into it. Just deepen your breath here. Nice, deep, full breaths. Just soften in place. Feel that nice stretch in the hips. Allow your body to melt while you're in this position. Just let go of any resistance. Give yourself support if you're feeling any strain. Don't want to feel any harshness in the hips or the knees. You just want to feel a delicious, lovely stretch running through the hips and the IT band. Good. Just stay with it, breathing into that back body. Perfect. And then we're going to come all the way up. And once again, you can, if you're laying on your back, just go into the V. But if you're seated, you're coming all the way up and you're going to just stretch the legs out. Perfect. Excellent. Lean forward if you want to put just a little bit of pressure into the hips. Perfect. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Perfect. So from here, this is where the blanket's going to come in handy. So if you want to use your blanket, you can use your blanket. If you don't need it, that's perfectly fine, or don't have one. But we're going to set up for a chest opener and hip opener at the same time. And this is going to, it's going to be dual purpose. This is part of your Shavasana too, because we're coming towards the end of class. But from here, you're going to have one block on its medium height, one on its tall height. You'll take your blanket and place it right over those two blocks. Now I have a little bit of space between the two. You might need more or less depending on the length of your spine. From there, if you don't have a bolster, you could put a roller right underneath your knees, okay? Just for comfort's sake. Or if you have a strap, you can take your strap, make sure you have a loop in your strap, okay? You can open up the strap fairly wide. Now I'm going to show you from back body how this goes. I've got the strap so that it's going to be supporting right at my sacrum, okay? So this is dual purpose. It is not only going to open up my hips, but it's also going to support the low back. Then from there, I'm going to go into Baddha Konasana. So Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet are together, the knees are wide, right? And I'm going to take my thumb in the center of the strap, and I'm going to encircle the toes. I'm going to take it up and over my toes. I'm not going to tighten it up yet. I'm going to set up my spine first. I'm going to rest right over those blocks. And then I'm going to tighten up the strap, maybe even draw my feet in a little bit closer. Now, if you're having difficulty with the strap, I can walk you through the strap and again in just a moment. But from here, you're just opening up your chest and you're just relaxing in your Baddha Konasana. I love the feeling of support in the back body that the strap, affords you. But if you don't have one, it's not a necessity. But what it looks like from the front is the soles of the feet are touching, right? My knees are wide. And I just take the strap loosely out in front of me with my thumb in the center. And I'm going to aim my thumb up and over the toes so that the strap runs right along the groin. And then I set myself up once again right in front of those blocks. And delicious. This is absolutely delicious. So from here, I can tighten up the strap. It supports not only that low back, but it also, it really helps my hips too. And you can just relax in this position. Chest nice and open. Feels lovely today. It feels really, really good. So we did hopefully just enough to open up the front of the body with the rolling that we did earlier and the arching over the roller. And we did hopefully just enough to open up the hips for Baddha Konasana. But from here, we're going to take about 12 to 15 more breaths. You, of course, are at home, so you can stay in this position even longer than what class affords. In Yin, we hold the poses for 2 to 6 minutes, but this one I wouldn't recommend past 4.5, 5 minutes. But deepen your breath and stay with it. Stay relaxed. Stay soft. Your breath is an important component for relaxation. You want to feel as relaxed as you possibly can be. Once again, you can use your breath to unlock tightness in your body. Just draw your breath to wherever you feel you really need it. Allow the belly to rise and fall with each breath. Allow that feeling of the body just resting beautifully down into the supports on those exhales. And just imagine with those inhales, you're able to float, just floating in space. Good. Beautiful. These look fantastic. We're coming very close to the end of class. Once again, feel free to stay where you are. I do want to thank those of you that came in a little bit later. I didn't get a chance to say hello to. I want to thank you, Shelley. I want to thank you. Oops, I took my camera off. I didn't mean to do that. I want to thank you, Shelley, for showing up. Dee Dee. Let's see who else came in that I didn't say hello. Michael, thank you for being here. Roger, Rupali. Thank you all for taking the time to be here. It's a wonderful thing you do for yourself, but also it really affects those humans that you interact with, even animals. From here, if you're ready to come out, feel free. If you want to stay where you are, feel free. If you want to, you can unmute yourself. If not, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming out. And I'll say,
thank you.
Namaste.
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 Have a
Thank
nice
you so
weekend.
much. You too. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you for
You
being here.
too.
Your
Thanks.
class,
Thank
the
you.
must class for me. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. That's always the hope.
Yes. Thank you.
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your weekend. Laurie. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley. Enjoy your Shavasana. Thank you all. Nice to see you, Mary. Thanks, Margaret. Thanks, Dee Dee. Thank you. Have a great day. Wonderful. Excellent. We have to pass off the Zoom to the next class. Once again, I want to thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.